This next question's from Eli. What's something that you want to get better at?
It's good. Right now, I want to get better at. It's funny. I told Regina this weekend, I was like, I need to find a memory coach and a speaking coach because I want to be able to I think I have a pretty good memory as it is, but I want to just, if I see something, if I learn it, I want to be able to own it, if that makes sense.
Really anchor it in. And
really understand it, really comprehend it. And so a memory coach. And then now that we're creating a lot more content, doing podcasts, things like that, I watched one of my episodes back, and I don't know where it came from, but I got in the fucking death spiral of saying and it was like. And oh my God, it made my skin crawl. And the people that I admire the most that I think are some of the best communicators, they're so clear and precise with their thoughts. They don't have a lot of ums and ahs and blah, blah, blah. They're just very well spoken and can articulate and connect dots and make points. And so I just messaged her this over the weekend. We were having a little fireside chat, and I was like, I need a memory coach and I want a speaking coach so I can just get really, really good at those things. And it really just comes down to communication. So I'm really practicing the art of communication in my life right now. I want to get better at it.
All right. That's good. I wish I was taller. I wish I was a baller. I'm trying to get better at just like working out more consistently with it. I got the weight bench in my garage and it's there. Oh man, what was it? Something knocked me out of practice like 3 weeks ago or something. I just haven't got back into the routine. So frequently when I start working out, I'll do good for a little bit, and then one thing changes in the pattern, and then it knocks me off for forever.
It's hard for you to get it back once you've been knocked off.
Yeah, it sucks.
Once you take that initial first step to get it back, can you sustain it and keep it going?
Yeah, I'm pretty good about that. Like after the third time, I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
can I ask you a question?
No.
Do you
Spencer?
do you identify as someone who works out, or is it just something that you do when you have time?
I don't think the second one, but I'm definitely not the first one.
Yeah, okay.
I don't identify myself as someone who works out.
It's a really good point.
Yeah, I think that's where, and for anybody out there who struggles with any pattern development or following through with certain things, I think fitness is a great one. For me, I made a decision several years ago that I live a healthy, active lifestyle, that I'm an athlete. And so I actually intentionally redefined who Anthony is as the type of person that always works out, that always eats healthy, that always does these things, because that supported the long-term kind of like experiences I wanted to have. And I went from kind of a routine of, I'll work out when I can or when I'm not super important to me here and there. Maybe I'll go, like just, to your point of like when it's convenient, to almost never ever missing a day when I say I'm going to do it, simply by changing the way that I identify. And I think our identity drives us more than hopes, desires, values, rituals, routines. We will always stay consistent with how we identify ourselves. That's why you see crazy things between families. Like one family, they're like, family is the most important thing to me. That's my number one value. But someone over here identifies as one political party. This other person over here identifies as another political party. They both say, I love my family, but they also give them the middle finger during the holidays because of the way that they identify. So if you ever see a mismatch in the way that someone says they want to be versus how they actually be, it is they say one thing might be a value of mine is to be healthy, but you don't identify as a healthy, active person, and therefore you don't actually follow through because your identity is stronger than your value. So I would play with re-identifying how we show up, and I think that's one of the like super hacks to change your behavior.
Yeah, I think spot on. But I can help but think of vegans, and not to pick on vegans, but vegans
let's pick
identify
on vegans.
as vegans versus like, I don't eat meat, right? They identify themselves, and so they're way more in terms of polarity of attacking the other side. Like it creates division because they're identifying as a...
Or now there's this whole carnivore movement, and people are like, I'm fucking carnivore.
Becomes your identity, and you're more passionate. There's a harder line in the sand, if you will. Yeah.
It's true with anything. It's someone who identifies as a singer, someone who's a poet, someone who's a comedian, right? Things come easier to us when we identify that and say, that's who I am. I'm this type of person. And therefore your desire, there's this thing in psychology called commitment and consistency. And so part of our psyche has to stay consistent with the commitments that we make. And the strongest commitment we make is the commitment of who we are. And so integrating any desire, whether it's parenthood, fatherhood, relationships, etc., that's the easiest. And it's not easy, but that is the most congruent, or it's just the best way to change a behavior is to identify with or to identify against, right? Like if you're a smoker and you want to stop smoking, and this is, I actually don't want to go down that rabbit hole of alcoholism, because I grew up with a very abusive alcoholic father, but he would never identify as an alcoholic. So therefore he never saw that there was an issue with him drinking a fucking fifth of whiskey every night, you know? So it's like he didn't identify that way, so it didn't become part of his identity. But then, you know, people who identify that way are always battling against it versus changing. Oh, I'm just not that type of person anymore. So I'm not the type of I've never drank because I don't identify as someone that wants to drink or has any desire because of my father. So that's in my identity. So I have zero desire to do it. So that's a long-winded way of
yeah. So I should wake up in the morning and identify as like Terry Crews or something. Then after I finish my workout, I'll go identify as Gordon Ramsay in the kitchen. And then on my drive here, I'll identify as, I don't know, Enzo
Tom Petty.
Ferrari, Tom Petty. The
Isn't
music?
he a NASCAR driver?
Oh,
Tom
is
Petty
he? I thought Tom
the
Petty,
singer?
the singer?
Oh,
That's
singer.
who I know Tom
Who's
Petty
the
as.
NASCAR driver?
I don't know.
There's a lot
That's
of
why.
them.
Oh, Jeff Gordon. Wait, is he
Jeff-
alive? Or is
Richard
he
Petty? Is that what you're thinking?
I don't know. All right, I got mixed up.
Richard
I'm not-
Petty?
I don't know.
Dick
I'm not a
Petty?
NASCAR guy. Dick Petty.
Yeah.
Dick Petty.
Okay.
But
Yeah, so that's
yes, you're embellishing a little bit.
I
but
am.
you get,
I
You
am.
get
I'm
my
taking.
point.
I'm taking
think it
your good
applies.
advice, and I'm making a giant joke out of
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
because I would
Well,
rather.
today you can
deflect.
identify as whatever you want, and you're good to go.
Totally normal.
I'm a 50-year-old black woman. Everyone, watch out. I'm gonna get sassy.
That's not
here.
what I mean when I say your identity. I think you guys get what I'm putting down, but we can have a little fun with it
Yeah.
because some days you just want to identify as a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah, wouldn't
Totally
that make
normal.
life easier? Just. Yeah.
I guess.
Did
I
everyone
guess.
answer the
No, I
question?
guess I can answer the question. Yeah, something I'm trying to learn. What was the question? Something we're trying to learn.
Yeah,
Uh,
like something you're.
Yeah, something I'm actively learning right now that's kind of applies is like just time efficiency, right? And we talked about this on a previous episode about like balancing the scale and like not needing equal input of time for the output that you desire in your business, in your relationship, in your health and wellness, et cetera. But with a baby boy coming, like I am probably the only thing that I'm nervous about, not about being a father, not about being a great husband, not about being there, but like balancing time and being as ruthless and intentional with the time that I'm spending. And so I'm doing like a full audit of how I'm spending my day and trying to like work it backwards to make sure that I'm getting unequal displacement into the areas that I want, but enough like intention into those areas, right? And so trying to just be like a master of planning and mapping out how I'm operating daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. I think I mentioned Jesse Itzler before. I follow some of his content, and he has this big ass calendar where he maps out his entire year. So he already has 2024.
who is this?
Jesse Itzler.
Oh,
He wrote a really entertaining book, Living with the Seal. He's like a 90s white rapper and started a jet company with no jet experience. And then he ended up marrying the founder of Spanx, owns sports teams, like pretty badass dude. But he has this thing where he maps out his entire calendar for the next year. And so he has the entire 2024 literally to the day of all the things he wants to accomplish, so that because life gets busy and shit happens, then if you don't plan this trip with your family, you don't do these certain things, like life will just kind of get busy and kind of sweep you away. And so I've been really trying to learn and study how to just maximize my time so that I can make sure to show up for the business and play 110% and play all out, but also be that way for my wife, for my relationship there, for my kid coming and all those things, knowing that there's just a lot of shit to do. But I do believe you can do it all with the amount of output and having energy to put into those things. You just have to be extra intentional with every fucking little block of time that you have. So that's something I'm trying to really dissect and learn how to master or at least improve.
Yeah.
Kind of how I operate.
And if you don't have time to do it all, there's always drugs.
Please
don't do drugs.
What's your drug of choice, JR?
My drug of choice?
Yeah.
Monsters.
Monsters.
The zero sugar monsters. Oh, so great. He had 7 of them before this morning. No. I don't think my heart's beating anymore. It's just, it's just yelling imperceptible.
How many of those do you
beats.
drink in a day?
No, I never drink more than 2
Okay.
a day.
Dude, JD used to drink. We used to have this guy that worked here for a little while, and I've known him since college. He would drink like 3 bangs a day.
Bang!
Bang! One more.
Bang!
There's the third.
Dang. What?
3 days. That's 900 milligrams of caffeine a day. That's fucking unhealthy.
Oh,
So 2 Monsters is still not the best, but it's,
it's not
better
the
than
best.
3 bangs.
Yesterday, I felt it really bad because, like I said, I was cleansing
Just-
out of it, and I had a really bad headache. I was just like, oh fuck,
No
I had way too
caffeine
many
during your cleanse, just water only.
No, just water only. Just drink all the water. If you're hungry, just drink more water.
Yeah.
If you get the stomach pain, just drink more water. Just
Flush it all out.
everything out. And yeah, yesterday was not a fun day.
I think
Monsters.
caffeine is most people's drug of choice.
For sure.
Yeah.
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 You know, I have this weird thing genetically. I don't metabolize caffeine, so I don't
feel it.
I don't get any rush from it. And so for the longest time, I've had zero desire to drink anything caffeinated, which I guess I'm supposed to be pretty healthy, but it doesn't have any impact on me, so I didn't notice one way or another. I just think it was weird when people were drinking coffee because I'm like, this shit tastes terrible and it doesn't do anything for me. Like, what the fuck?
My
I don't get it.
wife,
I don't get it.
She spends so much money on Starbucks. I'm like,
Oh, you
how?
save so much money.
Yeah, Starbucks, Dutch Bros. I'm just like, just stop drinking coffee. It's gross.
Yeah.
She never finishes. She only drinks like the top half. But I'm complaining about my wife. Let's hear it.
That took a hard tangent. Anything else you would like to
Yeah.
share, Jay?
Well,
yeah.
here it is.
Okay. The amount of no.
Moral of the story is we were going to start a coffee company, right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, shit, if I'm going to sell coffee, I have to at least like try to become a coffee drinker. So I started experimenting, like cold brew, latte, Americano.
Started
different
experimenting with coffee.
things. Yeah, like
Different
trying,
types of coffee.
trying
Hard
different
coffee?
ways. Yeah,
Hard
hard
coffee.
coffee, soft coffee, thick coffee. And now I don't even really enjoy the taste of it, but I kind of have. It's like nice to have something warm in the morning. I understand the ritual of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now sometimes I'll get to the office and I'll be like, oh, I want a coffee. And it's weird because it's not a stimulant thing
not
for
the
me. It's
caffeine
just like the
itself.
routine of it,
Yeah.
And I'll do my favorite way to do it is Americano with a packet of stevia and just a little bit of half and half. It's great.
But you don't feel the caffeine at all.
No,
No energy boost, no spike,
no,
clarity, focus.
no. It's just
no,
like
none of the stimulant at all.
just like a nice warm thing. Also, I think it might have to do with the fact that I'm always fucking cold in the mornings because of the ice bath. So I
So
do
does
the,
he appreciate
I
it
do
even
the
more.
ice bath every morning,
Yeah.
and I drink something warm, and it
Yeah,
helps my body
balance it out.
temperature. Caffeine,
Yeah.
drug of the world, right there.
It is.
That's actually my favorite breakfast is to take caffeine
Yeah,
with it, but I don't do coffee.
yeah.
My favorite is scrambled eggs with like bacon or sausage, and then a Monster on ice. Yeah.
Wow. Well, just throw a cigar in there, and you got
Yeah.
fucking.
Just like that.
I could totally see you being a caffeine and cigar type of guy.
Caffeine and cigar.
Yep.
Ugh. Yeah, I want to put a
Simultaneously.
dirty diaper in my mouth.
Yeah.
Just-
You don't like
Ugh.
cigars? No cigars?
No.
No.
Who wants a cigar?
Fucking
I don't
tasty.
even like smoking. I'm so paranoid about my lungs that even around a campfire, I'm like,
Don't inhale.
Don't inhale.